Hello everyone and welcome to Sports Show. I'm Drew.
And I'm Chris, and we're going to get you pumped up for the SEC tournament. Let's go!
Woo! Hello sports fans and welcome to the debut of Sports Show. We are live in Nashville, Tennessee, home of Cole Swindell and both members of Florida Georgia Line. Today's show is coming to you right in front of the beautiful arena behind us, Bridgestone Arena.
Because they will not let us in beautiful Bridgestone Arena. We're going to take you through all 14 teams playing at this weekend's SEC tournament. Let's start with the number 14 seed, the worst team, Vanderbilt Commodores. The Commodores, the home team, are, what's their record again, Drew?
They are 0-18 in conference play, the first team in history to ever do that. But yesterday, Bryce Drew said everyone starts at 0-0 this week.
Whatever, you got to tell yourself to get you through the day. Next up, Georgia.
Tom Crean is in his first season with the Bulldogs. Georgia managed to only win 2 games in conference play. They are not good, folks.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night. If you're at this game, it means you just needed to get out of the house. I guarantee most of the tickets sold here are just people telling their wives they are at this game. Next up, Missouri, the mighty Mizzou. Missouri, former home to Mary Jo Perino, and currently coached by Quanzo Martin, who is basically watching his ex-wife date someone more handsome at this tournament.
Coincidentally, Quanzo Martin is right there walking by.
Hey, Quanzo.
Hey, hope you didn't hear that. Up next, the 11 seed, Texas A&M. A&M is, anything?
What?
Moving on.
Number 10, Alabama, coached by Avery Johnson, wearing a little tiny acorn hat. What do you know about them, Drew?
Alabama's got a pretty good roster. They might make some noise here, but I think they have a tough game with Ole Miss. Ole Miss is playing really well.
One thing's for sure, at the end of that Ole Miss-Alabama game, a lot of bottles full of dip spit under the seats.
Up next after that, Arkansas.
The Arkansas Razorbacks. Drew, what do you got?
Hang on, looking.
Fayetteville, red uniforms.
Oh, they went 2-10 in the regular season.
All right, that's the football record, but it's good enough for us. Next up, the Florida Gators.
Normally a contender at this event, I don't think you're going to get much from the Florida Gators. They have not had a good year by their standards. They even lost to Georgia at home 2 weeks ago, and Georgia is very, very bad. I don't have high hopes for the Gators this week.
Yes, luckily no one will be here to see it because it is too far to drive for that kind of hot garbage.
But up next, we have the Ole Miss Rebels, who are rolling this year.
Ole Miss, the Runnin' Rebels, headed up by Kermit Davis, who runs the model train store in your hometown.
You know what, he does kind of look like a guy that runs a train store, but my man can coach basketball. He is the SEC Coach of the Year in his first season in Oxford. You know, he came from right here in this area. He coached at Middle Tennessee State where he had lots of success. I think he's got Ole Miss looking good. They're a contender. Another contender, though, is the dangerous 6th seed, Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, headed up by Coach Rick Stansbury, who's really built a great program down there in Mississippi.
But he hadn't coached there in like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, okay.
He's now at Western.
Oh.
They're coached by Ben Hallen, who has Witherspoon boys back for like the 14th year. I think the entire team is made up of guys named Witherspoon. They can all shoot the 3. Mississippi State's a little inconsistent, but if they're hitting 3s, look out Nashville, it could be hot. Let's go to our next team. Who is our next team?
The Roaring Auburn Tigers.
Roar. Auburn's got a very dangerous backcourt in Jared Harper and Bryce Brown. Very, very good shooters. I'm telling you, Chris Tomlin, those guys can shoot the lights out.
That's right, Drew. Jared Harper's shot is as wet as Bruce Pearl's undershirt.
That's very wet and also disgusting. Bruce Pearl's got a tall task here. Fun little fact. Auburn has been knocked out in its first game in 9 out of the last 10 years. That is an incredible stat for a team that should be pretty good. They kind of suck in Nashville, though. Who we got next?
Did somebody say Gamecocks?
I don't have a lot to say about South Carolina because Frank Martin scares the out of me.
Yes, earlier today I saw him in a back alley rip off a man's arm and beat him to death with it. Good luck, Frank.
So, up next, Tennessee.
The Volunteers, of course, are headed up by 2-time Player of the Year Grant Williams, and let's not forget Admiral Schofield.
Ooh, Admiral Schofield, a great player. Can I give you some fun facts about Admiral Schofield?
Please.
I got some good stuff.
All right.
Did you know Admiral Schofield's dad is a Navy captain, hence the name Admiral, and his brother's name is General Schofield. Can't make that up. Then we have the craziest, most bizarre fact maybe of the tournament. Admiral Schofield was born in London in the same hospital where Princess Diana gave birth to both of her sons, William and Harry.
That is a startling amount of information on
I could
Admiral
go all
Schofield.
day, but they also have Jordan Bone. He's a player to watch. Keep your eyes on Bone.
You said Bone.
I'll get your mind out of the gutter. Let's go to the number 2 seed, our favorite team in the tournament, your University of Kentucky Wildcats. What do you want to say about Kentucky? Everybody knows about Kentucky.
What's left to be said?
They're awesome. They're going to win it. Go Cats. LSU is a hot mess right now. They are the 1 seed, but things are crumbling around them. They lost their head coach in the midst of a scandal. They lost one of their best players in that scandal. They lost another one of their best players to an injury. In the last game of the regular season, they only dressed 8 guys for the game.
And one of those guys pitches for the baseball team.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a fun fact. They did manage to win the regular season for the first time since 2009. Looking back, Billy Gillispie coached Kentucky back then, so do we even really count that? Whatever, good for them.
And this game will be the only game you'll be able to stream through an FBI wiretap.
Let's get to some predictions.
So there you have it, everybody. We have previewed the 14 teams you will see here in Nashville this weekend. Drew, who do you like?
This probably won't surprise anyone, but I am taking the University of Kentucky Wildcats. I think that game, the championship, is decided on Saturday, not Sunday, when Kentucky meets Tennessee in the semifinal. Those are just the 2 best teams. I think whoever wins that one handles their business on Sunday, and I give Kentucky the edge. Tennessee playing a late Friday night game on short rest. They're going to be exhausted. Cats win that one and prevail on Sunday. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I don't know anything about them, so anything will be a welcome surprise.
Well, if that's your pick, clearly you don't know anything about the tournament.
Nope.
On that note, we should probably wrap it up. Thank you for watching Sports Show, live from outside Bridgestone Arena. Now we're going to throw it back to your regularly scheduled programming. Hey Kentucky, right after this break.